Most businesses fail at remote hiring, not because of their budget or lack of talent out there, but because they don't know how to find, train, manage, and retain players. I learned this firsthand running Remote Latinos, where we have over 20 remote internal workers, and we also have a marketplace with over 5 developers and product designers. But I learned a lot of these lessons because we were able to place over 1,500 people over the last several years, working with over 700 companies and brands. So in this video, I'm gonna prove to you that because we've been able to build all these brands, I'm gonna give you 6 real-life examples of people that we've worked with. We placed many different positions, and I'm gonna break down why people fail to execute when it comes to building and scaling remote teams. Firstly, I'd like to share with you the 6 remote teams that we have built over the last several years and the positions that we have placed for these individuals. Starting with Remote Latinos. Okay, with Remote Latinos, like I mentioned, we have over 20 team members, from recruiters to editors to designers to developers, you name it, we have it. Closers and appointment setters, you cannot forget them as well. And when I first started, I had to learn the hard way about how to find these people, how to train, how to retain them. Now we have a system from finding these people to hiring them, to onboarding them, and to making sure they execute, get results in the short and long run. Now, we've done this for over 4 years, so we obviously have been learning a lot of what to do and what not to do. And sometimes these lessons have been pretty costly, and I'm gonna dive into these later in the video. Case number 2, none other than Mr. Ryan Pineda. That's right, Ryan Pineda, who has hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. He's one of the biggest REI influencers out there, and we've been able to find him video editors as well as GHL experts. He's hired video editors from us specifically to help him with short form content. He's also hired Go High Level experts because he's moved to a brand new CRM, so that's why he's hired Go High Level experts from us. Case number 2 is Eddie Malouf, one of the biggest names in the marketing agency and e-com world. Eddie was one of the first people to take a chance on me when I went all in on the business, and he's consistently been able to hire video editors and graphic designers specifically from Latin America. While he's hired hundreds of people from all over the world, one of the biggest advantages that he's used us for is high-level A-player talent from Latin America. Also, Eddie's given us multiple shout-outs from stage at his own event, agency founder event, even while he has his own recruiting company, because that man operates from a mindset of abundance, not from a mindset of, if it's not about me, I ain't got it. That is not the kind of person he is. He's a good friend. Shout out to Eddie Malouf. Case number 3 is Mr. Nick Perry, who's another big influencer in the REI space and also has his own coaching program, 7-Figure Cartel, one of the best and most influential coaching programs for any real estate investor or wholesaler. And I know this because we also deal with over 10 of his own clients that he sent to us to hire lead manager, acquisition managers. This is exactly what Nick Perry has hired us for, lead managers and acquisition managers, especially with all the transition he's currently doing and moving from one office in one state to now another office in another state. And he's had tremendous success hiring lead managers and acquisition managers from us, so that way he can qualify the leads and close more deals. Case number 4 is Austin Hauser, who's been one of our top clients from the last year and hired over 10 people in 1 year from us. Huge shout out to Austin Hauser. He's also referred us tons of business in the marketing agency space and even with his own clientele. He's actually been one of our best people to work with because he's hired people at scale for multiple positions, whether it's an editor, a designer, an appointment setter, an assistant, a high-level expert. We have been able to go completely diverse in terms of the positions specifically for him. It's something that we haven't done for many clients, but because he has his P's and Q's together, specifically his SOPs, his systems, his processes, onboarding is in place, all he needs are people, and he's been able to take a chance on us consistently, and we've been able to over-deliver. And last but not least is a good friend of mine, Mr. Eric Fosnad, actually my very first client from 2020, who still has his first ever assistant that he hired from us, and she's been able to level up. Shout out to Danny, all the way from Ecuador, has been with him from now going on 5 years, which is incredible. I'm so happy and so proud of both of them because Eric was able to come to us at $10,000 a month, and he's been able to scale his agency to multi-6 figures per month in the painting world, and now he's shifted to becoming more of a consulting company working with painters, which actually is one of the partnerships that we have with him. Not only do we staff him with people for the businesses that he has, but we also help his painters with any of the positions he needs. So guys, these are just some of the stories that we have. We've done this hundreds of times. If you look on Google reviews, on Trustpilot, on our YouTube channel, you'll see all the case studies and the reviews that we have. However, that's not what this video is about. This video is about showing you and explaining to you how to hire, train, manage, and retain A players in 2025. One of the biggest reasons that businesses fail to hire is because they are hiring from a reactive point of view and not a proactive point of view. They are always reacting very fast, sometimes slow, when it comes to hiring, instead of looking at their business, looking at their organization, looking at their margins and their profit and understanding exactly the needs that they have, rather than what they're doing is sometimes they're hiring out of wants and they're blabbering and they're just thinking that they need something, when in reality, guys, there is a psychology and a formula when it comes to hiring. Take this from me because I've overhired before, and firing people is absolutely one of the worst things that you can do, especially when they don't deserve it. And I actually don't call firing, I call it parting ways, because firing is when someone's done something wrong. Parting ways is when you mess up and you probably overhired or you can't afford someone. So this is a very important lesson to you guys. You want to hire based on a formula. You want to look into your business and understand what are the biggest needs right now. And for most businesses, it is a revenue generating position, meaning you probably need more lead generators or closers. You need either cold callers, marketers, or closers. This is what I've seen for most businesses. However, if your sales are coming in, you're on fire, you're closing regularly, but you're struggling with your fulfillment, you're struggling with the orders, then you might want to look into hiring an operational manager or an executive assistant or a back-end media buyer or system operators to help you more with fulfillment. It is a very simple psychology, yet so many people mess this up because they think they're in one part of their business, in one season of their business, but in reality, they're in another season in their business. Another reason people fail at hiring is because they think remote hiring means cheap labor. I'm gonna hire a virtual assistant at $2 or $3 an hour. Guys, what you pay is what you get. If you're hiring someone cheap, you're gonna get cheap results. Hence why I never like to say the word VA or virtual assistant. I very minimally say that word, because when I think of a VA, when I think of a virtual assistant, I'm thinking of the absolute bottom barrel skilled worker, someone that speaks little to no English and is gonna come in and hopefully do something right, but in reality, they're gonna mess up a lot of the things. Hence why we like to say remote workers, remote professionals, or savages, team members, people that are gonna come in and make a difference from day one. Stop thinking about cheap labor and start thinking from a mindset of a business that's thriving by hiring the right people, which means they're not gonna be the cheapest people. They're gonna be people a little bit more expensive, maybe $6, $7, or even $8 per hour. And another reason people fail at this is because there's no system for accountability. When you're hiring people, you're not tracking them, you're not tracking their hours, their pay, you're hiring them and you're hoping things get done. And here's the thing, guys, I've done this as well. I only hire people based on, and I told them, hey, we're gonna be result driven. And the thing is, yes, you can operate like that for some period of time. However, to grow and really scale, everything needs to be tracked. And this is something I've had to learn the hard way. Please take the lessons from me and from hundreds of business owners that I've seen do this wrong. Yes, you want to hire someone that's going to get results, but also you want to make sure you're tracking their time, tracking their pay, and most importantly, yes, they deliver the result. So here's what we do in order to avoid a lot of these failures and in order to hire the right people over and over and over again. We've been able to hire over 1,000 A players for a reason, because we've done this process right over and over again. Number one is you want to hardcore pre-vet someone. What does that mean? So many people just send an application and then hop on an interview, when in reality, an application is just part of the process. Video introduction is part of two. What we like to do is an AI interview, have them answer specific questions and they have 1 minute to answer. We like to use myinterview.com, but there's other platforms to utilize when it comes to an AI interview. So application is number one, video is number two, AI interview is number three, and then we do multiple tests. We like to do an English test, a personality test, and a skill test. That's right, 3 tests. I need to make sure people are speaking English to a close to fluent level. There's a skill test depending on the last 30 days of whatever I'm hiring for. So let me explain this. Whenever I hire an appointment setter, I look at the last 30 days of what I needed someone done. What is the script they're gonna use? What is their process? What is their day-to-day? And I create a skill test around this. Same thing with video editing, graphic designing, whatever the skill I need. I am not just doing some random skill test. I'm looking in the last 30 30 days, I'm creating a skill test around this. And the same thing goes with personality test. I'm using the one that I have seen the most results from, which is a DISC assessment. Absolutely love that. We use the 36 personalities and many others. It is up to you to utilize and use this. And then when you hop into the interview process, you want to make sure that this is a two-part interview process. The first interview is more of a skillful interview about the current experience that they've had, the day-to-day of the position you're hiring for, and more talking about the position itself. And interview number 2 is more culture. I want to talk about the goals for this person. I want to know more about this person. I want to make sure they align with the cultures and the values of this company. Otherwise, things are going to break very soon, or they might be a culture vulture, which you want to catch very early on in the interview. Number 2 is you want to make sure that you have the right SOPs, the right processes, the day-to-day, the week-to-week of every single position. If you need help with SOPs, comment the word SOP below. I will personally send you the SOP we have for one of our positions, and you'll see how detailed every single thing for this role is. If you do not have SOPs, you have 2 options. Number 1, freaking create them immediately. Go onto YouTube and you can search how to create SOPs. Number 2, hire someone that understands that you don't have SOPs, and they better be an advanced worker that not only is going to deliver results for you, but also is going to help you build the systems and SOPs. There are people like that. Guess what? They're going to be a little bit more expensive. They're probably not a virtual assistant. Number 3, one of the ways that we are using to track is this. We use HubStaff for tracking time and activity. We use end of day reports, which is their end of day report, which has specific questions about how the day went. Tell me about what was accomplished, what were some of the challenges, what are your top 3 things for tomorrow. And it also goes over some personal stuff, which is a specific personal accountability, which talks about health, fitness, sleep, and diet. These are really important things that I want to make sure people are holding themselves accountable. And then at the end of the week, we have an end of week report, which dives a little bit deeper, and by a little bit, I mean much deeper, into a lot of these categories. And this is a report that usually takes them about 15 to 20, up to 30 minutes to complete. And the leaders, including myself, we review our team members to make sure that we are aligned and we're not missing anything. At the end of the month, we have an end of month review. If you want to see what these look like, comment the word report, and I'll personally send you these reports. And last but not least, this is something that's helped us tremendously. It is to onboard people properly, and also making sure you are having the right person assigned to them to shadow them. A lot of times people don't do proper onboarding. It blows my mind. There's literally no onboarding. They just start day 1 and they just hop on there and just start training. When in reality, the onboarding is one of your last ways to make sure that you hire the right person, because this is where I reset expectations, talk about short-term, long-term, and just make sure I'm overall hiring the right person. True story, in the last 4.5 years, we've personally hired over 40 to 50 people internally. And with these 40 to 50 people, there are 2 people that I hired internally, and on their first day when we did the onboarding, they were not a good fit. One of them quit, and one of them I was like, I just hired the wrong person. Thank you so much, but you're out. This is one of the last times I have, because maybe I didn't catch something on the interview. Maybe I didn't catch something on the video. This is one of the times that I get a chance to just have one last peek at them, because we are about to rock and roll. We're about to enter training. We're about to enter shadowing. We're about to go over SOPs and the playbook and whatever it is. Here's when things get intense, because the next 2 weeks, you're gonna learn a lot and you're gonna start executing, because I need to see results. If I don't see that this person's active, they're communicating, they are in, they're out. I don't have time to wait, guys. I used to give people 2-3 months to figure it out. Hell no. They got a week to learn. The second week we're ramping up, and then within the first month, if I don't feel good about them, if they're not communicating effectively, if they're not showing me that they are here to get results, they're out. And guess what? Even at a smaller company, if I was to go back 3-4 years ago when I first hired people, I would do this 100%. Now guys, this is a lot. I just went over a ton of things. I gave you a ton of people that we worked with. If this sounds like a lot and you're like, man, can I just pay you guys to hire me A players? Absolutely, yes you can. And this is exactly what we focus on every single day. We've done this over 1,500 times for 700 different partners, okay? So if you're struggling with going on Upwork, going on Fiverr, which are platforms that waste a lot of your time, even though there is some talent on there, and you wanna just get on interviews and hire an A player that can come in and make a difference from day 1, that is exactly what Remote Latinos is for you. So in the description, you can book a call with one of our head of enrollments, and they will be able to help you and guide you through one of the packages. We have many different ways of working with us, but I'm not here to pitch you on this. I'm here to provide you value and ultimately help you find exactly what it is that you're needing in terms of finding, training, managing, and retaining your A players. Thanks for watching this entire video. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with your loved ones. Share this video with anybody that needs to learn about remote hiring, and I'll see you on the next video.